Greetings and salutations, people of the internet. This is Master RBG. Black Friday is rapidly approaching. In fact, it might already be here by the time I upload this video. Now, for those of you who go out on Black Friday willingly, I have no pity for you. You knew what you were getting into, and you went out there anyway. But some of you have no choice. Your livelihood is directly or indirectly tied to retail, and you must venture out on Black Friday and risk life and limb serving the ravenous hordes. And I wish you all the luck in the world so that you might return home safely in one piece. I dedicate this week's video to all the retail workers out there. And speaking of facing down death, today's game puts you in the role of a Grim Reaper. A Reaper named Felix, who dances to the beat of his own drum. Or should I say Walkman? Anyways, this week we're reviewing Felix the Reaper. Let's do it.
Well, Felix, on your way to your first working day as a field reaper, As any good instructor of the Ministry of Death, I'll be guiding you through these final steps into full field reaper territory. By the way, about your little quirk, as we've discussed, some of the other reapers find it somewhat, unnerving. So, while you're in the field, do try to keep the dancing to a minimum. All right, enough of all that. Your first mission awaits, Felix. Classic scenario, a hunting accident. Now, if only I could find the full briefing. Hang on, Felix, sorry. Well, I guess we don't need a formal briefing for a case as simple as this one. Stay tuned for more instructions once you reach the mortal realm, Felix, and enjoy the passage.
Okay, just gotta grab him.
Great! And now, wait for it. There you are. Now, hold down X, or just do whatever you need to do to get that human into the lethal position right over there.
Okay, easy enough. Now, of course, because we work for the Ministry of Death, of course we have to stick to the shadows. So, no wandering around in the light areas. Just so you know. See?
Oh my! Look at you, Felix. I'm impressed. Now get out. Your first human lifetime count is about to expire. Now let's see what happens when time unfreezes here. Very well done, I must admit. That dancing, cuddly Felix, and... Oh, what's this? Oh, no, this is bad. Can you hear me from the televator, Felix? I guess you can. Get back to the office immediately and I'll have the right, let's say, another briefing waiting for you.
And that takes us through our tutorial section. Now, some of my older, more observant viewers might have picked up on some similarities this game has with a certain classic adventure game called Grim Fandango. And they certainly wouldn't be wrong in thinking that these two games are somehow connected. In fact, there's a blink and you might miss it guest appearance by Manny Calavera himself, the protagonist from Grim Fandango, in the beginning sequence. I skipped over it because there's a piece I can't show on YouTube, but I can show you the clip where he shows up right here. See? There he is, just off to the right. Cool, huh? Man, I missed that game. One of these days I need to do a Let's Play of that. Got to make a mental note of that later. Anywho, back to the game.
The televator traffic is terrible. The Ministry of Life televators are a nuisance, jamming up the space-time continuum. We have to... Oh! Here we are. Felix. Now, let's do it properly this time. Always check out what happened when time froze. That's for me. I have to get on with other things, you know. I'll leave you on your own now. Stay in the shadows, and good day to you, Felix.
Okay, so our actual assignment was to actually knock off the guy in green. He's the guy who's actually supposed to die. So that was admittedly our bad. We weren't supposed to kill the monk-looking guy. But we can't just immediately get to killing the guy in green. We had to alter events to lead to him getting killed. Which starts with this deer dying. And after seeing the cutscenes again, yeah, the deer's kind of annoying, so don't feel but so bad about him dying. Okay, so we picked up the deer. Marvelous. Let's get him to his final destination, if you catch my drift. Get it? Final destination? I'm playing death? No? Oh, alright, fine. Look at those moves, man. You can kinda tell, yeah, they did do a little bit of motion cap to get his dance moves down. And I applaud them for it. Does have some crazy moves. But I digress. Okay, we should be good to go here. Let's see how it plays out.
Felix, old boy. Great work, and everything went according to plans and regulations. Just lovely. This makes an instructor proud, it really does. I believe he'll be fine on his own now. I will only be checking in every so often.
Okay, I'll be honest, I don't know why they picked this music, but it's actually really good. I'm digging it. Now, back to the game itself. The puzzles get more complex as time goes on. So obviously the first level will be a lot easier than the levels that follow. So while the first one didn't have any fancy extra mechanics, this one does. Actually having to pull levers in order to get to where I need to be. And speaking of where I need to be, we have the elk's head mounted, or sorry, deer's head mounted. We should be ready for our last approach here. Bear with me. Okay, I will openly admit I skipped a couple levels just so you could see where all this madness was going to. So, remember when I told you that all this was leading up to killing off the green guy? Well, you're about to see where that goes. Okay. Oops, okay, sorry. Meant to drop this here. There we go. Also, did I mention I love the music references each time you complete an objective? Absolutely love it. Okay, I need to put that over here to block the cart. There we go. Okay, come back here. Then I gotta grab the barrel again. Obviously, by the time I got to this, I was on a roll, so clearly not goofing up half as often as I was earlier. It's all good. Okay, get me over here. There we are. Place this here, and watch the fun ensue. the deer had to die. This poor, visually challenged fool. There we go. Perfect. And he's dead. Dead as a doornail. Actually, I take that back. Doornails aren't quite that dead. But you get the gist. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Felix the Reaper. One of the more unusual and entertaining puzzle games I've played in quite a while. And of course, I do love a good reference to Grim Fandango. And since we'll never see a true sequel, this will do rather nicely for now. I should mention that the difficulty ramps up quite a bit after the first assignment, but the game does offer a nice hint system to help you out if you get stuck. I should probably also mention there's a side story about Felix and his crush over in the Ministry of Life, but that involves story spoilers, which we don't do here. As I mentioned earlier, each assignment consists of about 5 or so levels where you set up events for your target to die. And trust me when I say some are definitely more ridiculous than others. I would give this game a strong recommendation to any puzzle fans out there, especially ones like me who like a little story with their puzzles. Of course, folks looking for more action-packed fare should probably look elsewhere. This probably isn't the game for them. And of course, if you thought this game looked even a little bit interesting from what you saw here today, well then you should probably give this one a try. It's definitely worth checking out for yourself. This game currently is out on PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PC, and Mac for about $25. The price seems a little steep at first, but you do get your money's worth out of it. Not to mention Steam's winter sale is literally right around the corner, so if you're a bit tight on funds, just wait a couple weeks. I'd also spring for the original soundtrack because the music is really, really good. So, to all my music fans, give it a purchase. You might like what you hear. I mean, you got to hear a little bit of it from this review. Unless I got striked for it or something. Possible, I guess. Oh, you can even get a digital guide to dance just like Felix. It's pretty entertaining, much more than expected for that kind of DLC. Anywho, that does it for me this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed making it for you. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you'd like to see more of my nonsense in the future, hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to be the very first on your block to be notified the moment I post any new content here on YouTube, hit that notification bell. And if you'd like some suggestions for other videos made by yours truly, then how about these? If you haven't quite sated your appetite for puzzle-related games, might I suggest checking out my review for a game called Anarcute. Or, if you really would like something a lot more action-oriented, might I recommend my review over here for Fight and Rage. Check out either one, they're both fantastic, just like you guys have been. Until next time, this is Master RBG, signing off.